Hi, it's Polly with Get Busy Thriving, and I'm excited to make this video. This is a video probably a long time in coming. I have coached people for years and years and years on the importance of doing a morning process. I started doing my morning rituals and process about 5 years ago. Learned it a little bit from Abraham Hicks. I've learned along the way from Tony Robbins and different people online. It's kind of this new trend or whatever, but I originally learned it about 5 years ago from Abraham Hicks, and that's where I started, and I first blogged about my morning process. And I find that to this day, I think it's just like a routine, and I always do it, and I get so many questions for it. So I decided, okay, I need to make a video for it so I can just tell people, here's the video for it. So that's what this is. This is the video about my current morning process. And what I want to say about that is when I first started doing it, I had different rituals and different things that I put into it. At one point, I had a checklist that probably was about 15 or 20 things, and I did maybe 10 of them in the morning, I did 5 of them at midday, and then a few at night, and then I changed this, and it's evolved over the years, and it continues to evolve. And I think that's the importance of a morning process or a morning routine is, for me especially, variety is important. So if I do the same thing day in and day out for years, I won't be happy. It won't have the same impact on me or the same effect. And I'm constantly growing and learning new things. So I would say your morning process can be the same as long as it's serving you, or it can be different if that's what you need. Just make sure it's serving you. And so what is a morning process, and why should you do it, is what I think this should start out with. So a morning process is a set of routines and rituals you do in the morning. And I'm single, so I live alone, and I would say it's the first thing I do before I speak to another human being. So if you have people in your life or people in your home that you interact with, these are things that you want to do before you speak to them, or as best you can before anyone gets up. Do them early in the morning. They're the way for you. I always say to my clients, it's like setting the rudder for your day. It sets your intention, your vibration. We're energetic beings. We are basically, atoms in motion. And so as energetic beings, we choose the vibration, if we're intentional about it, that we want to have. And a lot of times with, I'd say, kind of normal living or unconscious living, we're not intentional about creating our vibration. So the morning process is a way to deliberately set your tone, your energy for the day. And your tone may be different than mine in a goal. So your morning rituals could be different. Your morning process could be different. What you do, how long you do it. Tony Robbins says, an hour of power is what he recommends. If you don't have an hour to do it, he says 30 to thrive, or 15 minutes to fulfillment. And I think he has one now for 5 minutes. But anyway, so however much time you can give it, right? And I started getting up earlier and earlier because I saw so many good benefits from this. I won't tell you what time I get up now, because you'll probably be like, oh, I'm not doing that. But just now I get up pretty early so that I can get all this accomplished before I start my day, before I speak to any human being, because I think it's important, and it just sets that tone for me. It's like, if you believe in law of attraction, what you put out, you'll get more of. So my goal, my total intention about doing the morning process is so that by the end of it, I feel happy, I feel loving. Like, I just want to light up my heart energy. I want to be the vibration of love and happiness. So I'm going into the world with that intention, and I believe in law of attraction, so I'll get more of that. So whatever your rituals look like, or however you set this up, like, set up some intention of, like, what do you want to feel in the day? Do you want to feel confident? I would say you want to have the same intention each day. I wouldn't mess around with that. It's like, I overall want my morning ritual to make me this kind of a person. And so for me, it's loving and happy is how I want to go into my day. So decide what your vibration is, what you want to have is what you're bringing into the world and what you want to get more out of it. So I think that's enough of the groundwork. I may come back to that. But I wanted to share with you today what my morning process looks like step by step so you can understand. So the first thing I do, I wake up in the morning, and I usually have water right by my bed. So my alarm goes off. And actually, I'll share a little bit more. But on my alarm, I figured out, or I learned at Tony Robbins, that you can change the signals that your alarm sends you so it can, like, say things instead of just alarm. So I turned my alarm so now it says, good morning, beautiful, you freaking rock. So the first thing every morning I see when my alarm goes off is like an affirmation, something to remind my subconscious, hey, you're amazing already. So I turn off my alarm, grab my water, have some water, and then I do, this is something that I've learned recently from going to UPW, Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. You should go, it's amazing. So he taught us 3 sets of 30 breaths, and how that looks like is this. So you start with your hands over your head, and you go, and you breathe out as you pull down, you breathe out. So it's, so you do that 30 times, and then I usually take a deep breath and an exhale. And then 30 times again, just, so 60, and then exhale, and just wait a second, and then do it a third time. So 3 sets of 30 breaths is how I start my morning after I drink a good chunk of water. And then I go into gratitude. So, and I also love this, I got this at UPW too, you know, there's a difference between thinking about things that are nice to remember, and there's a difference between being in the experience of it. And so Tony taught us, like, literally close your eyes and go back in your body, and everything that you experienced in that moment, be in that moment again. So that thing that made you grateful. And what's working for me right now, there was a moment right before my dad passed away that we had an exchange, and it touches me even right now with so much gratitude and love, that I was there for him on his second to last day on this earth. And I was so thankful for that. And just, you know, I do this so often that it's just coming up so easily for me, but it's that gratitude and that love, for me anyway, is that moment. So I see myself in his hospital room, you know, on his second to last day, and then I just feel it so deeply, and I feel gratitude. I don't think gratitude, I feel it. Like that turns on my heart, that activates, I liken it to like activating my heart energy. It's like it opens my vibration up to the sense, the vibration that I want, which is love and appreciation. So I do that moment, and then I can think of some other moments, and I put myself back in that place, in that time when it happened, and I see myself in my world through those eyes, and it gives me that experience that you may have just seen, which is, you know, I just get so moved. Sometimes it moves me to tears, sometimes it's just a very pleasant feeling, but my goal is to just feel whatever that experience is. So I think of a couple of gratitude moments, and then I go right into bringing in my nearest term goals. So what are like 3 goals that I'm focused on right now? And I see myself in those goals as if they've happened. So I go into my future now, my future self, and I see a moment of living that person's life, or that thing that I want to experience or have or do, whatever it is, and I have an experience of that. I like walk through a video in my mind with my eyes closed of that experience. So lately I've been envisioning platinum partnership. Excuse me. Platinum partnership is part of Tony Robbins' kind of elite circle of partners, and I envision myself walking into my first event with them. So that's how I get into that experience, that you know, like, who are the people I'm seeing, and how is the environment, and I experience like her, like who I am as her. And I have a couple other goals, and I do that as well. So that's the first. And then I'll usually close with a little bit of gratitude. I'll just appreciate those 3 goals as if they're done, and just say thank you for those, you know, for that experience, like as if I already have it. And then, so I'm doing that, and I might share in a link in the bottom of this video. I really like music as a way to accentuate, especially if you're doing like a closed eye meditation or something. Lisa Gerard, she wrote, I think the song is called The Sea Whisperer. I'll share with you the video that I like, that I listen to. So I just turn that on, and that's going on in the background during that process. So I do the 30 breaths times 3. And then as I do the gratitude, I play her song, and I just listen to it, and I go through those visual motor rehearsals, you might say, the video of my gratitude moments and my goal moments. After that, then I open up Pinterest, and I go right to I call it my prosperity board. I have a couple of them that are things that I want to experience, are part of those goals that I have, right? And so it's a visual cue to my brain, like, oh, look at all these great goodies. And I just flip through Pinterest for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, just, you know, letting myself have those things, letting myself absorb them, seeing them. You know, what you focus on, you get more of. So that's called my prosperity priming. So I'm priming my mind with pictures of what I want it to be attracting. So that's prosperity priming time. And that's all in bed. And then once I am complete, and then I pet my cats. That's like no brainer, they're right there. So we have a little love session that just further opens up my heart energy. And I just bounce out of bed like feeling so great by that time. And then I go and I turn on music, and because I've been to UPW, Unleash the Power Within, I often play a UPW playlist that I find on YouTube, and it's got a bunch of songs that remind me of being there, that experience that I had of that day. And I just like start feeling good, and I dance. I get my body moving, get that physiology in motion, right? And I'm just like dancing around, feeling good. Sometimes it's like feeling fantastic. I might just play that for a good 10 minutes if I'm feeling it, or maybe just a couple minutes. So I do my dancing, pump up my music, and then I go into my I am statements. And I want to share with you like the standard coaching that I give to clients, that I do for myself as like a standard, like a basic, like start this way, is come up with I am statements, things that affirm and celebrate and you want more of as a being. So mine are, I've learned, over time that just saying like, I'm powerful, I'm amazing, I'm confident, that's not enough. Like, you got to get your body into it. So after dancing, then I do my I am statements, and they look like this, like I am I'm confident, I'm passionate, I'm loving, I'm contributing, I'm amazing. So I'm doing these motions. I do that about 4 or 5 times. I go through all 5 of those. I think I have 1 or 2 more. So I do all 5 of them. And I also, these are some of my I am statement cards I've gotten over the years from going to T. Harv Eker workshops years ago, and thankfully I saved these. And he has I am statements from each of his workshops and different ones that I went through. And so it's like, I have a mind of steel, I am confident, I'm decisive, I am disciplined, and I'll say some of those. So, for that variety part of me, saying my 5 usual ones, I'll mix them up with these ones. So having your I am statement time, and that's when music is going on in the background. I'm like talking out loud, I'm saying them, and music's playing, I'm just feeling more and more pumped up. And then I review my quarterly goals. So this is a sheet from my Tony Robbins RPM, which I highly recommend. So I have my quarterly goals, and I'm just looking at them and focusing my mind on, okay, this is where we're going, this is where we're going. Sometimes I'll just stop on one, and I'll really feel how great that will feel when that's accomplished, just giving one maybe more energy that day. And then on the bottom of here, I have my story, and this is just a current story that I'm reading, and it's whatever I want it to be, and it changes, it can change regularly. Some people are like, nope, I just want the same story. The variety person in me, I'm constantly evolving, so it is changing. So right now, I'll just read it to you. I earn a fortune teaching what I love. I attract and work with amazing clients who pay me very well. I love what I do. I'm playful and happy. I'm living a spectacular life I love. I have a fit, healthy, strong body and loads of energy. I'm adventurous and enjoy lots of fun things. Money flows to me easily and frequently. I have an amazing relationship with the man I love. It's pure bliss. That gets me so excited every morning. So, music's playing, I'm saying all that. It's just like, by the end of this, it's like, look out world, here she comes. So I've read my story, I've read my goals, and I've read my story, and I do that out loud. It's not just like some, I live, everything's pure bliss. It's like, no, I'm like excited about it. I'm just sending out these vibes of energy to the universe. And then I go ahead, I have 2 mastermind partners that I text each morning. One of them I send a video to, like after I'm all pumped up, I just tell them what my intention is for that day, and I say, hope you have an amazing day too. And he sends me one back, and we high five kind of thing. And then I have another mastermind partner, and I send her my intention, more of a text, and like things that I'm opening up to, or something that I learned, something like that. So that's great. And then I go exercise, so all of that. I've done it where I'll interrupt my routine and I'll exercise in the middle, like, I'll do my morning, in bed, and then I'll go exercise and I'll come back and do the rest. It doesn't work for me. So what works for me is I do all of that, and then it's like, okay, and then I go to the gym, or I go work out outside, or whatever it is. So that is my present morning routine. It doesn't change a lot very frequently, except for a little, maybe sometimes I'll read some different cards every so often, but I've been doing this same routine for probably 3 months, and I could see doing it for another 3 months. We'll see. But that's what it looks like right now. I hope this video has been helpful to you. It feels really good to share all of this. If there are any questions you have, please, my website is getbusythriving.com. Come over, check me out, share questions, comments. I appreciate it all. Would love to help you with your morning process. I also do coaching if you want some support and how to get your rituals really on track and get your life on a great trajectory. Happy to share more. So hope that was helpful. Please like the video if it was for you. Thanks.